Greetings and God bless. I just have been thinking about like entitlement. Growing up in the 70s, I noticed that there was so I grew up working class, and so there were kids from the projects, and then there was the wealthier children, and and so they both seemed to have this sense of entitlement, and kind of arrogance, and not quite all the same. I mean, different personalities. It comes out differently, but um, so it was just this interesting trend. And then the working class kids, like there was just more humbleness. We didn't have perfect sneakers like the kids from the projects, and we didn't have nicer whatever like the rich kids. Um, so the working class kids, like we were kind of more just make do and not trying to keep up with the Joneses, just a little bit more practical. And anyways, what I notice now, 2022, is that um, like there's a lot of people have this grand sense of entitlement, and I personally notice it more with people driving. And again, like I did in my previous video, that there people are just like, well, I'm driving, so get out of my way. And then I hear that it's like, well, I'm in a bigger car, so get out of my way. And so I feel like the blessings that we have had in the United States has made everybody into their own little Marie Antoinette. Like all these entitled people, whether they're like, well, let them eat cake. I'm in my car, or I deserve this. Like, this is my right. So nobody else, I don't have to respect anybody else's rights unless they're a bit more of a identity politics. They're of a higher level of whoever's the poster child of the moment, you know. But like there's no morality, there's no like let's uh um basic Judeo-Christian moral principle of the golden rule, treat everybody as you would want to be treated. That is not the majority of what I experience. And uh, the people, there's people who have more leverage, and they're not even holding anybody accountable. There's nobody saying, hey, what's the matters? There's nobody who's like standing up for everything. Everybody's been like you know, like disempowered. Um, and so masculinity. I mean, I was going to say everybody's been emasculated. Like men have been emasculated. Men are not allowed to defend things because then it's considered a problem or something like that. Um, and women are supposed to be, I guess, the warriors. It's like so twisted, and women just can't. They're not doing it well. We have landed here. It is January 2020, and people are being suffocated, people are being executed, people are being, and because people, we over the past 20 years, 30 years, there's been a feminist uh takeover, right? And look where we are. People are being, the most vulnerable people are suffering. And I'm not saying all patriarchy is good either, but things have definitely progressed, I think, with the feminist movement and with the sexual rights movement, with the identity politics movement. I think that it has somehow really undermined civilization. And I had no idea that this would happen. I mean, when I was in college, I totally believed in identity politics. It seemed, logical or something. But apparently, we do need the foundation of gender. We need the foundation of a traditional family, and we need the foundation of traditional moral Judeo-Christian values, and then like um, more uh, new age or philosophical or pagan Wicca kind of a thing. Like that is not civilization is does not last with those paradigms. This is what we have observed if we are to trust history. So, and I'm not even sure, how much history to trust, but I'm just saying what I have observed personally. And I think people should ask themselves, are they acting like a little Marie Antoinette? Let them eat cake. I don't have to stop for you. I don't have to display any common courtesy. And what is worse about these little Marie Antoinettes running around, these King Louis, these people who think that they're royalty, that these people who are so entitled, they think it's their divine right that everybody else is supposed to help them, but they don't have to do anything. Like people have this sense of divine right that it's just a one-way thing. And there's like so many people. I mean, when I was a kid, I met a lot. There was conceited people. We called it, people. But now nobody's calling anything. People are just it's this culture of self. It's so disgusting, and it's not helping society. So even if somebody is this entitled, conceited, selfish, malignant narcissist, and they just want to do things their way, if it's really in the malignant narcissist's best interest to not destroy civilization. If the malignant narcissist likes the roads and the lights on and food and culture and human life, they need to stop being this entitled malignant narcissist. It's just they need to stop being demonically controlled because it's inhuman. And if we only humans can only survive and thrive in a habitable habitat, an ecosystem. And it's not through, we don't thrive in abuse and just neglect, which I think is where we have landed. And maybe things have always been abusive and full of neglect. Maybe I'm just noticing this, like entitled royal we-ness that's been going on. But I think it's shameful and it spells doom. It's and the thing is, the entitled Marie Antoinettes that are running roughshod over everybody because they're so entitled, because they deserve, they because of something that happened in history, so they get to do whatever. Now they get to be abusive. And that's what I'm noticing, is that people from what a minority or a certain demographic, once they get into power, they're worse than the traditional people who are always in power. It's like nobody's going to behave properly if they are in a position of power in an unhealthy society. I think that there's healthy societies where there is this give and take, where there's this reciprocity. And right now, we do not have reciprocity. I don't know if there's any solution. And I don't know, maybe there never has been reciprocity in between the people and government, because I don't know if history is truthful anyway. But I've just been thinking about this mentality, this Marie Antoinette mentality, this diva. People that think they're the diva, the divine being that everything should revolve around, and that's not how civilization works. And I find it very troubling and demoralizing to just be around so many of these little Marie Antoinettes and King Georges, because it just is it's toxic. So I was wondering if anybody else had noticed anything like that, or if this resonates. So, and it's a good reminder that when people are being so conceited, when people are a malignant narcissist and they're acting like a Marie Antoinette or King Louis. They need Jesus, like they need prayer. And I also realize when something really upsets me, that I need to pray as well. So, um, dear God, help us all. Thank you. And with that, I'm going to wrap this up. Bye.